Hey there, card folk, Speedrobo here, and today we're going to be using my card design experience to talk about how to fix Bermuda Triangle in Vanguard Zero. As I'm sure all of you know by this point, Bermuda Triangle is easily and undeniably the worst clan in the game by a significant margin. So there are three things that I would do to fix Bermuda Triangle. And by fix Bermuda Triangle, I don't mean make Bermuda Triangle better or even make Bermuda Triangle not the worst clan in the game. I'm talking about just bumping Bermuda Triangle up so that there isn't a 6-tier gap between it and Kagero, so that this clan might actually see some viable play. And those three things are super small fixes that would take about 5 minutes to fix, some minor changes, and then one big, massive overhaul. And we're going to start with the smallest thing to do, and that is fix its cards so that they're, not just bad versions of cards that already exist. And what I'm talking about in regards to this is that Bermuda Triangle's Grade 3 lineup is just bad versions of other Grade 3s. Top Idol Riviere is bad Soul Saver. Velvet Voice Reindeer is bad Ashura Kaiser. And Top Idol Pacifica is bad Unite Attacker. And these are the three cards that especially need to get fixed. To start with, Ashura Kaiser is 11k and Velvet Voice Reindeer is 10k for absolutely no goddamn reason. Back in the original game, having Velvet Voice Reindeer be a 10k made sense, because bouncing your units back to your hand was useful, and you didn't have to call a card from your hand back to the board, which was super helpful. That is not the case at all in Zero. Bouncing your units is completely fucking pointless, so Velvet Voice Reindeer has absolutely no reason to be 10k, and so she needs to be buffed to 11. And even when she's buffed to 11, she's still just bad as Ashura Kaiser, because the unit that you, in quotes, stand with Velvet Voice Reindeer can't be given a trigger effect because it's removed from the board, so any trigger effect it gets is just gone. So in order to make use of your trigger power that you get from your drive checks, you need to have boosters in your back row, and if you don't have boosters in your back row, you're just fucked. So even then, even with the buff to 11k, Velvet Voice Reindeer is still just bad Ashura Kaiser, but now she's actually, playable, and gives Bermuda Triangle an 11k base Vanguard, which it desperately needs. Next one, Top Idol Pacifica. This one's super easy. Only Mega Blast in the game that requires you to hit a Vanguard for absolutely no goddamn reason. Just allow it to hit a rear guard. Fucking Unite Attacker can hit rear guards, why not Pacifica? I don't know. Reasons. So yeah, fix that. Top Idol Riviere. We'll get to that one a little bit later, because honestly, it's the endgame of a ride chain, and there's no real way to fix her current skill to the point where it'll become useful, so we'll be talking about her more down the line. But honestly, if they're just going with the easy changes, I'd leave Riviere alone. And then the last unit that really needs a fix is Pearl Sisters Perla and Pearl Sisters Pearl. Once again, they are forced to only work when they hit a Vanguard, again, for absolutely no reason. Just allow them to hit anything, as bouncing cards back to your hand, not helpful. And drawing cards is also very limited in its usefulness in this game as well. Back in the original game, having them restricted to only hitting Vanguard made sense, because bouncing cards and drawing cards mattered. Doesn't matter in Zero, let them hit rear guards. And so that's all for change number 1. Again, this is really, really simple stuff that would take about 5 minutes to fix, and would bring Bermuda Triangle up to the same tier as Spike Brothers. Not better than Spike Brothers, but out of F tier and in E tier, bottom of E tier. Like, this alone would just bump Bermuda Triangle up to the bottom of E tier. Next, we're going to talk about the bigger change that I would make, and the bigger change I would make is making it so that whenever Bermuda Triangle would have a choice to bounce one of their rear guards, they could choose whether to return a rear guard on their field or the opponent's field. namely Bermuda Triangle Cadet Weddle, Pearl Sisters Perla, Top Idol Flores are the cards that I would change to have this be able to bounce enemy units. And the reason why this is so important is that you would be able to bounce your opponent's grade 2s. And all of a sudden, Bermuda Triangle finally has a way to deal with the opponent's grade 2s more than, gosh, I guess I'll ride Velvet Voiced Reindeer and pray I get a trigger or two to get an extra attack and maybe be able to get around the opponent and hit the Vanguard twice. Would this be objectively worse than Retire? Yeah, absolutely, because you're only removing the grade 2 for a turn. You're still going to have to deal with it next turn. But the sheer fact that you now have any option to deal with grade 2s, even temporarily, makes Bermuda Triangle so much goddamn better, and easily would put them in competition with Pale Moon and Spike Brothers, because once again, Pale Moon and Spike Brothers have consistent ways to deal with grade 2s through multi-attacking, where Pale Moon, on hit, they get to cycle in new attackers, and so they can deal with the grade 2s, cycle in new attackers, hit the Vanguard. Spike Brothers, basically the same story. They can easily get extra attacks thanks to Dudley Dan and General Seafried, and to a lesser extent Unite Attacker, allowing them to, once again, have a consistent way to deal with the opponent's grade 2s through attacking. Yes, which isn't good. But it's something, and Bermuda Triangle being able to bounce the opponent's grade 2s would give them an option. Just something to do, because right now Bermuda Triangle basically does nothing. So yeah, that's the second change I would make, and this could make Bermuda Triangle arguably better than Spike Brothers, maybe even push them to D tier, just below Pale Moon, but I don't think that's super egregious, especially since Spike Brothers is a clan that barely has enough grade 3s to build a deck right now anyway. So yeah, I think that's fine. And now, change number 3, the major overhaul. This is where we talk about Top Idol Riviere, because holy shit, this card is fucking bad. Its ride chain is the worst ride chain in the game, being the least consistent ride chain out of every single ride chain, being the ride chain that produces the least amount of value, as you need to complete the ride chain in order to produce any amount of value out of it. And the end game for it is just bad Soul Saver Dragon. It's just, wow. It's so bad. The only nice thing I can say about Riviere is that she's Bermuda Triangle's only 11k. But again, you have to complete the ride chain to get that, which, holy shit, that's so bad. I would completely change her skill. I would completely remove the power boosting skill, and I would make it something like Act, Counterblast 1, Persona Blast, return all of the opponent's grade 2s to their hand. Something like that. Again, just give them a way to deal with enemy front row, and all of a sudden Bermuda Triangle becomes a lot better. And especially if this is their ride chain's endgame, that would help a lot. Or not change the grade 3 skill, you can keep it the same grade 3 skill, but make the ride chain the Amber Dragon style ride chain, and that would be so much better. Just so much better. Holy shit, that would be so much better if they just did that. Yeah, there you go. Nice, simple, quick video talking about how I'd fix Bermuda Triangle. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Did I make Bermuda Triangle too good? Did I make it not good enough? Did I do just right? How would you fix Bermuda Triangle? Are there any other clans in Zero you'd like me to take a crack at? See if we can't buff or nerf stuff to make this tier list more together and less not. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I've been Speedrobo, and I'll see you next time.